Good, man. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. Hey guys, can I get your undivided attention? All right. I want to speak to you. My whole purpose is to encourage and challenge you. All right. And here's what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to ask you what your record was this year. What I want to ask you, and I'm speaking to each and every one of you. All right, each and every one of you as a player. Because this is success. Do you believe, and this is rhetorical, and when I was your age, I didn't know what that meant, so I'll just say it. Rhetorical means it's a question for you, but it's not for you to answer. What I want you to do is think about it for yourself. All right? So my question to you is, did you do all you could where you were with what you've been given? Do you think you did everything you could on the field and off the field to be the best player you could be? That's the question I'm asking you. All right? Because I'm going to challenge you that there's more you can do where you are with what you've been given. And the question for yourself is, are you humble enough to continue to be coachable? All right? There's something I want to tell you right now. When someone's coaching you, they're trying to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. That's not just athletic coaches, that's teachers, that's parents. Those who know where you want to go, what it's going to take to be there. All right? Just like me, I play college football. I know what I've been in camps and trained professional camps. I know what it means to do all you can where you are with what you've been given. And so I can tell you that being coachable is, first and foremost, is listening. All right? So when I say, do you do all you can where you are with what you got? First of all, do you listen? Not do you hear, all right, but do you listen? All right? You hear with your ears, you listen with your eyes. You ever seen someone, and maybe you've done it, where coach is trying to tell you something, yeah, you shaking your head and you're walking away. All right? Not only are you not giving respect to your coaches, to someone who has the ability to help you understand what it's going to take where you are to get where you're going, but neuroscientists say that you take in more and more accurately what's being spoken, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a parent, whether it's a coach. All right? Being coachable is the best privilege you have in life. Being teachable, being coachable. You know, football is sports altogether is a great microcosm. It's a great way to learn how you're going to have to deal with life. One, you have to sacrifice. You have to be a teammate. You have to understand that you need other people to do what you're doing. All right. If I asked you what's the most important, and some of you I might have spoke to you a couple years ago. I asked this question: what position is the most important position on the football field? Center, right? You touch the ball time, right? You got to. Who would say something else? What other position might be the most? Huh? Guards. All right. Quarterback, right? What quarterback? But hey, so, and I know when I was growing up, I know there's probably some of you that play both ways, but some of you can be so well on one side of the ball, but you have to depend on someone on the other side of the ball. What if I'm going to tell you what the most important position on the football field is? It's yours. It's your position. All right, you got that? So what that means is when I say, hey guys, listen up. When I say to you, did you do all you can where you are with what you've been given? That question is, were you dependable because the other 10 guys in the huddle depended on you? All right, I can run the best route possible as a receiver. Right. I can be in my position with my position coach in practice, learning how to release from the line, how to get separation from the defensive back, how to dip my hips, get my head across to be in position to catch the ball, learning how to catch the ball so that I can be the best position as a receiver. But if the offensive line, if the guards, the tackles, center, aren't doing all they can, the quarterback who might be doing all he can has no time to do his step back, plant his feet, and throw the pass to me. You are dependent on other people. And it's very important for you to understand this. Now, hey guys, stop. Just you do all you want in a few minutes. Let me speak to you. All right? I do believe what I'm speaking to you is important. I believe, just as speaking a couple weeks ago to the Carolina football team, to UNCW after last week, is important as much as it is to speak to you right now. Because I believe, without a doubt, I know, if you listen to what I have to tell you, there's something each one of you can take and you can choose to implement in your life. All right? Because I said, your record wasn't important. I mean, it is important, but it's not. Your record's always a byproduct of what you do, right? Your teacher doesn't give you an A. Your teacher doesn't give you an F. The teacher shows what you did, all right? The teacher's showing you what you chose to do because ultimately you're responsible, right? So none of you here are winners, and no one's a loser. Each and every one of you is a chooser. And as I go back about football, how great it is that you have to be coachable. You have to be a good teammate. You have to depend on others. People have to depend on you. You have to be disciplined. You have to be focused. You have to learn to play. You have an opponent that's trying to keep you from being successful. You have an official who you might think should have called the foul, should have thrown a flag, didn't throw a flag. There's all these things, but what it is life. Football's teaching you it's not fair. Life isn't going to be fair. But what you choose and what you don't choose is going to show what you have done with life. And I say this to you, so who's 8th grade is going to high school next year? All right, you're going to high school next year. All right. Do you remember what it was like do you remember like the first day coming in middle school? Was it like yesterday? No. Yeah, no? Well, let me tell you something. It goes by fast because now as you're getting older, you're getting more opportunity to choose what you do. Right? A couple years, you 8th graders are going to be getting a driver's license. You're really going to have a lot of freedom. But here's the thing about that. The more responsibility you have, the more you're accountable for what's been given to you. All right? So I want to help you understand that you're choosing every day. Every day. The things you will do, the things you won't do, the things that you will accept that's what's cool, what's successful, what's going to be approval. Well, all those things you're choosing every day. All right. And who's 6th graders here? Any 6th or 7th? What, 7th, 8th grade? All right, 7th. All right, 7th graders. All right. And next year you're going to be 8th grade. And what I want to challenge you with is this. Guys, I speak to middle school kids all the time. I've never had this before. Every week I speak about 5 or 6 middle schools. I never had this problem before. And I'm not someone you really have to listen to. I know I have a lot to offer to you, but you're gonna do this with teachers, you're gonna do it with coaches. But as you get older, you'll do it with a professor, you're gonna do it with a police officer, you're gonna do it with an employer, you're gonna do it with an employee, and there's gonna be ramifications. There's gonna be consequences. What I'm trying to teach you here right now is you're gonna choose whether you're gonna listen to someone or not. You're gonna choose whether you're gonna give someone respect or not. But here's the point. With all that, the consequences are gonna be on you. Your mom and dad are not going to be able to continue to take care of things that happen to you, the things that you have to deal with as you get older. And you have an opportunity right now to choose. I'm trying to teach you, just to present to you, you're going to make choices. And you're teaching yourselves habits right now. And those habits are going to develop who you are. I've been working with UNCW any baseball players? All right. Been working with UNCW baseball players for a very long time. UNCW baseball is one of the best programs in the country. All right. Might not think because it's here in Wilmington, but work with a lot of guys that more than got a cup of coffee, if you know what that means, the big leagues, to get to the big leagues from the minor leagues and play. All right. So I say all that regularly in the top 25 in the nation. Okay. I say all that to say that there's some guys that have records that it's a big deal because a lot of players have gone through there and have done really well, have signed contracts, played minors, some going on to major league teams. So about 10, 12 years ago, there was this young man who, starting his senior year, he had the opportunity to be the all-time hit leader at UNCW. So again, big deal. There's guys that he's going to pass that have played professionally, right? And the scouts, the way he was looking, the money he was going to make, he was way up on the board. And so about end of April, he breaks the record. He breaks the all-time hits record. He is the all-time hits record at UNCW leader. A week later, UNCW, we go up to Carolina, to Chapel Hill. Carolina is the #1 team in the nation in baseball. All right? And this young man, his name's Hunter, this young man, he didn't play in that game. Not only that, he didn't travel to Chapel Hill with the team. He just broke the all-time hits record for UNCW. All he has to do is finish out the draft he's going to get, the money he's going to make. It's signed, sealed, delivered. Not only a week after he break that record did he not go he was no longer on the team. Actually, he was no longer a student at UNCW. He was expelled. He was expelled because he got caught in the time between breaking the all-time hits record to playing the #1 team in the nation. He got caught plagiarizing. He got caught handing in a paper that wasn't his. It was someone else's. He cheated. So not only did he not finish out the season, get to play in that game where they beat the #1 team in the nation, draft, forget it. Because Major League Baseball teams that are going to invest money in someone, if you don't have the character integrity, they're not invested. There's someone else can fill your spot just like that. And they did. And here's the question I'll ask you, because I understand you're 7th, 8th grade. And I say how quickly you're getting older. But here's my question to you, and again, rhetorical for you to think about. When do you think that Hunter chose, and the word I keep throwing to you is that you're going to be making choices. And your choices are going to have consequences. Your choices are going to be based on how you, on a daily basis, choose how you are going to listen, choose to do, choose to ignore. All that this world's throwing at you. And this world's throwing at you a lot. I mean, just your phones alone. When do you think he chose to hand that paper? It could have been when he got the syllabus at the beginning of the semester, like, yeah, I'll take care of this later, man. Our season's about to start, we're going to go on a road trip through the Midwest. I'll get that some other time when we're home. Maybe it was close to, Easter. Maybe it was the week there. He's like, oh my gosh, I got to hand this in. I'm going to be a professional baseball player. I'll tell you exactly when he did it. He chose to cheat, to plagiarize, to take a shortcut when he was your age. He got away with cheating at some time, 7th or 8th grade, and he was deceived in thinking, because he didn't get caught, I can do this if I need to. And he made a choice, and when you make choices like that, you build on choice. What you expose your mind to, it gets attracted to. You expose your mind to taking shortcuts, you expose your mind not doing the right thing, the hard thing, the inconvenient thing, the uncomfortable thing, your mind will be attracted to doing the same thing. You'll be developing a habit. I can sit here and tell you all this, and then 4 years later, boom, just like that, you're 11th, 12th grade, and you are going to be the result. As I said, your record, that's your record. What you put into it. Your record's a byproduct. And A or an F is just a byproduct. It's not even important. It's what you did with what you've been given. Because he got to a point where he sowed a seed. Right? I remember, and maybe you all did this too, one of my daughters she's probably in kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, and you get a little pottery plant, you put 2 seeds in, you push it down in the soil, and you're told to bring it home. And you put it by the windowsill, and you're supposed to water it this amount, this time of day, this much sun, all that stuff, right? And it's grow. Well, like 3 or 4 days later, I hear her crying, and I'm like, Lily, what in the world? What is wrong? She goes, I must have done something wrong. I said, wrong with what? She goes, my plant. I said, what do you think you did wrong? She goes, well, it's not growing, so I must have done something wrong. I said, Lily, here's the thing. You're doing everything right. What you don't see is that the roots are growing down. You're watering, the roots are going down. What it's doing is making it stronger and stronger so that seed can come out of the ground. And at that right moment, everything you did, the discipline to do what you're supposed to do, because you listened and you didn't give up because you were getting deceived that you weren't getting anything from it, you're going to have that fruit. The same thing will happen at the wrong time when you sow a seed that is deceptive. When you sow a seed that isn't respectful. You can sow a seed 7th and 8th grade and be deceived thinking, I can do this. No one's paying attention, no one's watching, nothing's happening. And at the very wrong time, just like Hunter, the very wrong time, all those choices to bring up to that, it came out and it was exposed. And there was a young man that I work with on a weekly basis, mentor a baseball player there. And you know, all these players, they're from all over the country. They get recruited. They come in and they're busting their butt in and out every season to try to get better. And this guy Matt, he was getting some playing time. He got redshirted. He was trying hard. By his senior year, he was playing some, but he was a backup. But he planted that seed. He kept watering it and allowed the sun, and he trusted the process. Was it easy? Was it easier? No. But I'll tell you what, it was more fulfilling, satisfying when he hit the game-winning run to bring in the run that won the game. He didn't go to the major leagues, but he knows this. He knows, without a doubt, he always has in life, that when I put in what I'm supposed to and how I'm supposed to do it, the delayed gratification comes about. And I say rhetorical questions because I want to challenge you. Because there's always something like that we are thinking, I'm getting away with this, right? And even in the athletic field, there's so many guys that they're so good as athletes that they always say, I can just get away with athleticism. Coaches say do this. I don't run to the line. I'm not going to go into film session. I'm not going to do, I'm going to work out, but man, I'm going to be in front of my TV doing my thing. Even though coaches say do this. And you will meet someone who is as athletic as you, but will have a stronger mindset than you. They'll have more discipline. To have more focus, to have more what's called stick-to-itiveness, to push through hard, difficult coaching. There's a young man named Rashaan Salaam, won the Heisman Trophy for Colorado Buffaloes a long time ago. Right? He did not do well in the NFL, and in an interview, he said, "What's the problem?" He said, my mistake, I could not just flip on a switch to have discipline. I'd rather, after practice, instead of being in the weight room, instead of doing things, I'd rather just get high. And he said when it came to being on the Chicago Bears and the other running backs, even though I was a Heisman Trophy winner, just as good as me, I could not reach their level of discipline, focus, excellence, because my athletic ability no longer carried me. And he was cut. And he says, man, I regret it. And he says, man, I wish someone, you can YouTube. He said, man, when I was in 7th, 8th, 9th grade, I was so good, no one ever cared to try to redirect, try to correct me. And there was coaches, people know I was getting high, doing all that stuff, and they didn't care because I was helping them win games. The biggest thing I could do that would be not in your favor is not to tell you these things. Because that world out there is telling you, man, just do this, have this, need this. Every time you walk into Walmart, every time you walk into Target, those stores, right? Depending on the season of the year, the day of the week, the time of day, the lighting, the temperature, the music, the volume, the placards, all strategically placed because they had neuroscientists figure out how to make you think you need what they have. And the question is, are you going to invest in yourself? That's what I want to talk to you. I mean, Super Bowl, how much do you think they paid for the Super Bowl last year? Every 30 seconds, it's the Clydesdales went.
2.3 million.
All right, keep going. M&M's running down the street. Keep going. All right, so who said 8? All right, $7.7 million. And M&M's talking. There's car commercials. There's Clydesdale. All these things. Some of the commercials are pretty cutting edge. I mean, some are head scratchers. Some futuristic, unrealistic. But there's only one reason why when you're going to use the bathroom, maybe get something to drink, eat, cutting up with your friends between, when there's commercials, there's only one reason why they do it. One reason, and one reason only. They'll pay $7.7 million each time. When you see that commercial more than once, each time they're paying $7.7. They do it because it works. They do it because they figure out how to make you to believe that you need what they have. And I want to tell you guys something. What you need is within you. The world's not going to tell you that. It's within you. But it's within you for you to uncover and discover it. It's in you to understand there's lies within you because of how great you've done something or how poorly, setbacks, disappointments, life, environment that you live in, that you are not, that's within you that will be satisfying to you, fulfilling, and bring about success and approval and all those things. It's within you. Just like this earth, ever since the earth has been here, right? The pieces that make a watch, your phone, an airplane, a car, all the elements that make everything, this plastic, this table, the lighting, makes light bulbs, every element has always been in the earth. It's always been here. It had to be dug up, had to be uncovered, had to be discovered. There's excellence in each and every one of you. And let me tell you something. The world wants you to dumb you down, wants to deceive you and distract you in thinking mediocrity is cool, being just like everyone else is cool. And I'll tell you what. I mean, your thumbprint tells it all. Your thumbprint, those lines that make up your thumbprint, there's 8 billion people on this planet. There's not a single person that has the same thumbprint as you. You have to understand there's value and worth in you of excellence that you have to uncover and discover. And how you do that, first and foremost, is that you choose to live it. You choose every day when you get up how you're going to be. And here's the thing. I say you choose, but most of the time you don't even realize you're choosing. Because the world is putting out for you need to wear this brand shoe, you need to do this, you need to have this, you need to speak like this, you need to stand like this, you need to talk like this. And I'll tell you what, when you start speaking truth to yourself, you start uncovering, discovering the worth and value that thumbprint says. Because that worth and value of that thumbprint is just like I was saying, that receiver depends on the other 10. Everyone, the worth and value that you have, that's unique to you, this world needs. The world around you needs. You have to know that first and foremost, that's the truth. You are created with worth and value. You're created with such uniqueness, but you have to discover it. You have to speak. You have to choose the discipline that's in you to set aside to speak truth, that you are disciplined, that you are respectful, that you're a listener, that you're humble. You know, a couple weeks ago, I was speaking to guys in the Carolina football team. This guy, Carrion Rucker, came. We were sitting talking after I spoke to all of them. And he's just telling me about, the most humble guy. And he's talking about wanting to be coachable, being teachable, spiritually, physically, mentally. And we didn't talk of football. I mean, he is the number one outside linebacker in the nation. He's going to be a high draft pick. And he didn't want to talk about football. Football will take care of itself. That is being humble. There's a phrase I use, it's contradicted because it sounds like it's totally against itself. Humble confidence. The humility to understand that you need other people, you need to be taught, you need to listen, you need to be coachable. And the confidence is that when you do that, you will use the excellence in you to do all you can where you are with what you've been given. That's humble confidence. Look, if you have to talk about how good you are, you're not that good. Let other people say how good you are. Other people will talk about how good you are. I've heard Derek Jeter say that. I heard Tom Brady say it. Professional guys across will tell you. Let other people, be humble. Just do the work. And that's part of you choosing. Choose to do hard things. Tell yourself, I'm insulted by taking shortcuts. I'm insulted to think that I don't have it in me to do hard things. Because you know what the thing is, if you don't teach yourself to do hard things, take shortcuts, it's going to hit you in the face. One day in your life, that hard things, and you're just like Rashaan Salam is not going to have the ability to persevere through it. And this is what I want one of you guys to choose. It just takes one or two of you to choose when someone's cutting up in class, when someone's acting like a meatball in the cafeteria, and the teacher's trying to get your attention, or someone else is trying to study, or someone's having a problem with something. You choose to step up and tell them, let's cut it out. Teacher's trying to teach us. We're trying to learn something. Stop doing it. There's a point where if you stand up, you start creating excellence as a culture. It just takes one or two of you. Athletes, you have such an influence in school. If you choose that I'm going to be excellent and be insulted, that's one thing Kobe Bryant talked about, being insulted to be anything but excellent. And stop being like everyone else. Because everyone else, that's the normal thing. You have excellence in you, be set apart. Because you will draw people to that excellence. You will create excellence by choosing on a daily basis. I'm not going to cut up anymore. I'm going to pay attention. Look, man, we're not going to be able to cut up anymore because I got to focus because your future depends on it. It does. You're going to be 8, 9, 10. It's going to be there. Colleges, where it's for academics, athletics, it's going to be here before you know it. What are you doing with what you've been given, where you're at? You can choose that. So people desire, don't even realize it, to see excellence, to be challenged. There's a friend of mine he's a Baltimore Ravens chaplain. He's been with John Harbaugh. This is the time he's been there. And his name's John Shelton. He was playing for the Atlanta Falcons, and Atlanta wasn't that good when he played for him. And he got traded or signed as a free agent to San Francisco 49ers, who at the time just won the Super Bowl. And he's telling me, man, Atlanta, we worked hard, we practiced hard. In NFL, I mean, there's a fine line between winning and losing. All athletes are really, really good. And he said, man, well, I walked into the offices of the San Francisco 49ers 3 weeks after they just won the Super Bowl. He said, I could feel it. He said, I could just feel excellence. And he said, and I got in the locker room, got around the coaches, got around the players, and you could just, the way they spoke to each other, the way they were coached, the way they hustled, their attitude, he says, I couldn't do anything but go to it. And it wasn't that in Atlanta, it was the players were bad and there was a bad attitude. He says, what he didn't realize what could be until he got there. He didn't realize how much more he could hustle, how much more he could be focused, how much more he could be dialed in, how much more he could listen, how much more he could be coachable until he got to a team that demanded it. The culture had to be set by somebody. Why not you? I don't know, maybe playing basketball this fall, maybe playing baseball in the spring, next year football, whether it's here, whether it's at Topsail or in high school. Why not be you? Why not you choose to say, you know what, I'm going to live out this excellence that's in me, this value and worth. I'll go back to the kid Matt who had that game-winning hit against Carolina for UNCW. The coaches were paying attention to his hustle. The coaches were paying attention to his attitude. The coaches were paying attention to his extra taking BP and seeing that he was working on his mechanics. He was getting better. He just had this kid in front of him. There's always someone watching you that you're not aware of that has the ability to bless you. There's always someone who's watching you that you're not aware that has the ability to promote you. If he wasn't doing those things, they would have found someone else to play for Hunter. A coach's job, as you get older, I'm going to tell you right now, how good you are as an athlete, coach's job is always to replace you, and your job is always to make yourself irreplaceable. And that means doing all you can where you are with what you've been given. That means when coaches say the locker room's the weight room's open, get in it. When teachers say we got extra study hall, you get in it. I play college football. I got my daughter right now who plays lacrosse in college. It's mandatory study hall. Right? It's mandatory going to the trainer. It's mandatory that you have to be in the weight room, these things, all those things. Because you get to a point in college that mandatory is what you want it. Because you truly want every aspect of being the best you can where you are with what you got. Doesn't matter. Middle school too. Establish it now and take it with you to high school, because by the time you're in college, whether you play sports or not, the excellence is going to be a mindset that you carry with you, and you're going to be separated from everyone else. 80% of games are won or lost before you step on the field. That's what my college coach told me. And my college coach Dan Marino and his wide receivers at Miami. I know we're getting older and older, time far away, but Dan Marino's the best quarterbacks ever, Hall of Fame, and Mark Duper and Mark Clayton should be in the Hall of Fame. And he's coaching us, and that's one thing he's always coached, was the mindset before you step on the field. What's your purpose when you go to practice? Are you prepared when you step on the practice field? Do you have a mindset, I'm going to dominate? Domination against an opponent in practice is a good thing because you're sharpening the other player. You're sharpening your teammate. It's a mindset. Will you choose it? That's what I'm offering to you, because you have to make the choice. Just like Hunter had to make the choice, Matt Keeler, the other guy, had to make the choice, Rashawn Salon, Johnny Shelton, who I was telling you about, played for the San Francisco 49ers, before, playing for Atlanta first, night and day, two different organizations. If you choose, and a couple of you choose, say, you know what, we are going to choose that we're going to be excellent and be insulted with anything less. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. You're going to slip, but what you're going to do is you're going to start establishing a rhythm, a lifestyle of this is who I am. And there's always people that are watching you that you're not aware that have the ability to bless you. And there's people that are watching you that you have the ability to bless. Because there's kids in this school that need, without even realizing, they need excellence. They need some peer that's being excellent, who's having integrity and character. Because there's so much of the garbage around that just becomes what it is. And teachers and coaches do whatever they can just to survive through a day. Be different, man. Be excellent. And you'll be so glad that you are 4 or 5 years from now, instead of trying to fight through everything because you don't have the discipline. You don't have the focus or the character. You choose to do all you can where you are with what you have, and to understand what you have. You're gifted. You got family, you got friends, you got teachers, you got coaches, you got resources. It's okay to cut up. It's okay to have fun. That's what you're supposed to as a kid. But you also know when the time and place when you got to start dialing in and get your focus on. If you truly want to be the very best you, iron sharpens iron, so should one man sharpen another. Iron sharpens iron, so should one person sharpen another. Iron sharpens iron, but also dull people dull other people. You need to choose, because you're choosing every day. I'm not saying choose what you're going to do as a career, choose what college you're going to go, but choose not what you're going to do, but how you're going to do it. How you're going to be each and every day. Because, man, there's so many people here that need to see excellence. And it's in you. It's in each and every one of you. But you have to choose that on a daily basis you're going to uncover and discover it by speaking those truths. That today I'm going to be excellent. Today I'm going to be disciplined. Today I'm going to use my gifts and abilities that I have to be the best I can where I am with what I've been given. I will tell you right now, you won't regret it. It's just like being in the weight room. And you guys lift weights yet? I don't need to lift weights. All right. The first day you ever lifted weights in your life, you did not wake up the next day and were big and cut. There was only one thing. You were sore. But you got the next day and did it. You planted that seed. And the next day you did it again. And you kept doing it. You developed a habit. Habits are first deliberate. Habits are always first a choice that you make. And you're planting that seed and it's growing down, taking water. And before you know it, you're stronger. You see a little size, but you're stronger. And then mentally you become strong, because your mind and your body are interdependent on one another. They depend on each other. The stronger your physical body, the more your mind saying, we are strong, we are able. It's the same thing with everything else in life. Habits are first deliberate. Choose excellence. Speak it. One of the greatest neuroscientists in the world, Dr. Caroline Leaf, says, if you knew the power of your mind, if you knew how powerful your thoughts were, you would never have a negative thought again. And that the words you speak to other people affects you more than it does the person when you speak it out loud. So when you tell someone you're stupid, your mind is saying, I'm stupid. And what it does, it tells your brain, hey, we're not going to be excellent. But if you choose, I'm going to speak excellence to other people. I'm going to encourage other people. I'm going to tell people that did a great job. I'm going to tell my teacher, my coach, thank you, I appreciate you. You start speaking that, your mind starts focusing on excellence. And in everything in life, you'll always perform to the level that you condition your mind to believe that it can. In everything, you will perform to the level that you have chosen or not chosen, condition your mind to the level that it will believe it can. Just like the games are won or lost before you step on the field, so is life every day. Listen, you're worth it. You're worth doing the hard things. You're worth speaking on a daily basis the excellence that you are, the discipline that you have, the capability, ability that you have, that you're humble, that you're confident, that you're able. Speak it, because your mind gets attracted to it and your mind starts seeking those things. I can present it to you. The byproduct is how your life's going to be. But you're worth it because you are excellent. I want to encourage and challenge you, dig and uncover and discover. That will lead you to live a life of excellence on and off any playing field that you have in life. I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you.